On this edition of CSX Video News, we'll see the system-wide safety committee on the road, learning from you new ways to make our shops safe. Plus, how many mechanical operations employees have been safety certified in '92. And a crew in Huntington, West Virginia has some safety news for you. All this and more on CSX Video News, March 1992. Hi, and welcome to March's edition of CSX Video News. I'm Renee Brust. In a moment, we'll see why this Lakeland, Florida car shop was voted the best of 1991. But first, let's take a trip to Cumberland, where we'll see a more efficient way for locomotive shops to diagnose defects. Locomotive engineer Gary Durst has just discovered a problem on engine 6241. It's a routine defect, but there's a new way to report it.
6241, tripping GPR, 30 miles per hour, 8 throttle position, 600 amps, cut the number 1 traction motor out. The 3-letter code for that would be the GPR.
Improved defect codes were put in place in February. The 50 new ones replaced 500 old ones.
Well, I can see where it'd be a lot more simplified by using a 3-letter code. That way, because it's already here at Cumberland, they can put the 3-letter code in the computer a lot easier than what they can put 3 or 4 sentences or a paragraph in a computer. All they have to, if they just look up LLP, so they know exactly what the problem is.
The new reporting codes are making it easier to diagnose problems.
Well, the old way, whenever they brought a locomotive in that had a defect, you could put anything in there and the computer would take it.
But not anymore. The defect reporting codes are specific. They are designed to tell you exactly what is wrong with a locomotive. This will help with repairs.
First of all, it allows better information from the engineer to our repair facility, so we can repair the locomotive much better than we could in the past because we have better information.
We've reported the defect, and now it's time to fix it. And this is where we find more new tools that are helping mechanics repair locomotives. They are called troubleshooting guides, and they are first used to decide if a locomotive needs to be shopped.
It's a step-by-step procedure, and if you follow it, you either have oil out the stack or you don't. And you can determine that by following it step-by-step.
This step is crucial in avoiding repeat failures.
If I would diagnose it wrong, I could just clean the car body a little bit, send it back out. Well, then 2 days later, here you got oil out the stack all over it again.
If a locomotive needs to be shopped, the defect codes and troubleshooting guides continue to help, but this time with repairs. The codes reported by the locomotive engineer save mechanics time.
There's a lot of guesswork eliminated because not loading properly is like me taking my car to a mechanic and saying it's not working. And the guy has no idea where to start. Now, if you tell him it's overloading, it's underloading, it's fluctuating, now the repair facility can start at a more specific location. They don't have to start searching around to figure out, was it overloading, was it underloading, where do I start? Now they can really pinpoint an area to start troubleshooting.
We really got into it because of the fact that we were having lots of failures on locomotives, and what was frustrating is that we would have repeat failures on a locomotive. We could have the same problem 1, 2, 5, 6 times in a row before we'd ever finally make the repair.
Basically, we use the shotgun approach, which is you made a stab in this direction. If that didn't work, then you tried something else based on your experience. But now things are a little bit different.
The troubleshooting guide really works as a reference, is that just to give him an outline of what he's supposed to do. So if a locomotive arrives with a problem, let's say it has a water leak on it, then he can kind of glance at his reference and say, okay, what am I supposed to do first?
Although CSX mechanics know how to fix a locomotive, the guides will make sure everyone does the work the same way.
You have a problem on an engine, then you have a definite route to take, and then if someone works on the engine ahead of you, then you know what step they were on, and it helps. You don't have to go back over and check things you've already checked.
Now, do you think that this is going to help make repairs easier in the long run?
Oh, I think it will. I think it'll make it a lot better because every shop then will be working on the problems the same way, and even though you have a lot of experience, you can still forget things, where if you do have a checklist to go by, it ensures that you don't forget things.
After the repair is made using the troubleshooting guides, the mechanics use new answer codes to tell the computer exactly what repairs were made.
It allows us to get better repair information out of the computer so that we can analyze what problems are and then repair them on the other end so that they don't occur on the locomotive to begin with, and there's nothing to report because we fixed it properly.
New defect codes and troubleshooting guides. 2 improvements that help keep locomotives on track. 92 in 92.
We're tying in the transportation center, we're tying in the diesel storm group, we're tying in the guys at the service center. Everybody knows that that unit has a problem. Then we're using the troubleshooting guide, and we know that wherever we send it, everybody is going to do the same type of repair. And that's going to eliminate multiple failures on a locomotive, and that's going to make our locomotive fleet run better.
What's the best way to help keep your shop safe? That's what the System-Wide Safety Committee wants to know, and they're asking for your help. The Overlapping Safety Committee used to meet in Jacksonville every month, but this year they decided to go on the road, touring facilities and asking for employee input into the safety program.
This year, in 1992, we felt it was more important to go out to the field to be with the people. And we've received a lot of positive feedback and also negative feedback about what's wrong with our safety program. But by using this information that we generate from the people, we engage in ways to fix our safety program and to make it better.
The advantage of this is we get to see problems firsthand. We got the people here who have the authority to take action, to get things fixed, get them fixed in a hurry. So we can be more responsive as a system safety committee. We can prove that this overlapping process works, not just from the top down, but also from the bottom up.
In February, the committee met with members from the fertilizer business unit, in part to address environmental safety concerns. The first half of the day is spent meeting with safety experts from the locations.
One of the safety committeemen brought up the subject of environmental training and hazardous training. So we are going to deal with that issue. We are going to huddle back in Jacksonville and try to come up with an environmental awareness hazardous material program to address his concerns.
After the meeting, it's time to see the ideas firsthand. The committee members split up and visit different areas. This facility is scheduled for a cleanup.
Fuel lines were painting red and the housings, filter housings.
All right.
If you noticed in Waycross not long ago, everything is stenciled and labeled as to what it is and what it does, etc. We're taking that plan and moving out in the field with it.
Local employees like the chance to show off their facilities and talk with management one-on-one.
When you have corporate officers coming around looking at the conditions that people are working in, it definitely is a plus for the areas.
It definitely sends a message. It shows that we are concerned about our employees' health and safety and welfare. We are anxiously looking for their feedback about what's wrong with the program and what can we do to make it better.
The System-Wide Safety Committee on the road, looking for feedback from you on the safety program at CSX. It's an idea that works.
It's really one that I like a lot. It gives us a chance to go see the problems firsthand. Instead of trying to solve symptoms from an office in Jacksonville, we're right on site. We can see what the real problem is. We can come up with a real solution that's going to work.
Now for a close look at something new from CSX. This is a LST, or a locomotive service truck.
But this is really a portable service track. You know, currently locomotives come in and they're brought into a service track for sanding, to get their servicing, lube, brake shoes changed, and fuel. This particular truck will go out into the field and meet the locomotives, and in hopes of keeping the locomotives out in the field until it's time for their inspection.
This LST is just one being currently tested in the Tampa area, and with it, 2 employees can do everything that is usually done at a service track.
We also have the ability to run lube oil on to the locomotive, water the locomotive, and we have the ability to vacuum oil from the engines into the tank, and also our toilets that we now have on our locomotives.
All this can be done in the field in just 1 hour.
Locomotives are very expensive, and the time that we spend bringing a locomotive into a service track, getting it back out, is very expensive. So the primary responsibility of this truck is to cut down on that time, and locomotive time is money. So if we can go out there and meet the locomotive and it can stay busy, then we're putting money to the bottom line.
If you look around, it's easy to see why the Winston Car Shop in Florida was voted the best car shop of 1991. This shop has a winning formula.
I think it was really the commitment to teamwork and coupled with pride. The people here have always took a lot of pride in their work, and it finally, it was recognized.
It took everybody pitching in, everybody doing their part. Management was, they gave us the ball and the tools to do it with, and we were able to do it.
The word teamwork comes up a lot when you ask why Winston is #1.
We gave each employee different responsibilities, a manager, a director of different projects such as tooling, material. We also have a training officer. So we've got all employees involved as far as taking care of their own little responsibilities.
Each individual is given a say-so in what goes on and how he works. You have input. After all, you're doing the work. You know more about how it ought to be done or what you need to do it with than people maybe sitting in an office someplace. So we're interested because we're involved.
They're all involved in the whole operation very much. They've got an interest in seeing that things are done right. One of the biggest fears here is for a car to go out on the system and something be found wrong with it where it could come back to Winston. Winston doesn't put out second-class work. We put out first-class work.
That first-class attitude plus an impressive 0 injuries in 1991 put Winston on top. And they already have their sights set on 1992.
Really, this year we're encouraged to really work on the buddy system a little more, express a little more caring, concern.
So it sounds like the Winston Car Shop's not just going to sit back and relax now.
Oh, no way. We are looking to repeat as the best car shop in 92. I'm fortunate to have the best carman on CSX at Winston Shop. And it's a total team commitment and an effort from each and every one of the employees.
Finding new and effective ways to spread the word about safety isn't easy, but a crew in Huntington, West Virginia has found a way.
Good morning. Welcome to the WHLS Morning News.
A team from the wheel shop came up with the WHLS News, complete with reporters and cameramen.
Our objective is to come up with ideas that are creative and original to enhance our safety program here at the Huntington shops.
One of the features of the program is the carelessness monster.
Well, the carelessness monster is a being we created because anytime somebody has an accident, there's an underlying motive. We figure we get careless. At 90% of the accidents, it's our fault.
It has no gender, male or female. It is our carelessness monster, and it is the cause of most of the accidents that happen in the Huntington shops. This thing is green, it is ugly, it is horrible, and most people who have an encounter with it regrets the encounter and hope they'll never have another one.
The news video often includes sightings of the monster.
Terry, this is Mike Vance. I'm here at the Team 5 area, the Huntington Locomotive Shop. I'm speaking with Mr. Jerome Sidnar, an employee here of the shop. Mr. Sidnar just experienced a sighting of the carelessness monster.
The reporters are volunteers from the shop who use their own free time to make the tape. Some stories introduce new safety ideas, like this scaffolding.
A person will not have to be stooping and bending down. Each thing will be done at waist level height.
The news crew plans to make a tape each month, and they show them at their safety briefings. It's a great idea to help spread the word about safety.
I'm out here to try to stop all accidents if possible. 0 is our goal.
They're good, but I think Dan Rather's job is still safe. That's it for this edition of CSX Video News. Until next month, here's a thumbs up for safety.
Horace Willis, 38 years, injury-free.
My name is John Shiver, material coordinator at storeroom at Lakeland, Florida. I have worked 31 years injury-free.
And my name is John Murphy. I'm electrical supervisor here at Cumberland, Maryland. I have 38 years injury-free.
Dave James, Safety Manager, Cumberland Locomotive Shops, 31 years, accident-free.
I am Marvin Wayne Trumpauer, Machinist at the Cumberland Locomotive Facility, and I've been working for 40 years, injury-free.
I'm Grant Norris, Machinist, 30 years service, injury-free.
Jim Shaw, Carman, Cumberland, 40 years, injury-free.
My name is Roy Crass, clerk, 38 years, injury-free.